words left to this shit. No chuckling and nothing, no kind of way. All right, play off the grid.
It's a torture chamber of sorts, you know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Ye likes to put people in that torture chamber, in that blender. He feels comfortable when other people are uncomfortable.
Kanye West stands as the most exceptional artist of our time, a true genius in every sense, even though he's a complex and troubled soul. Collaborating with him is not easy. He has relentless work ethic, and he demands the same level of commitment from his collaborators.
Because this man, doesn't sleep.
Kanye runs mandatory 8 a.m. meetings. These aren't just any meetings. They're deep dives into the previous day's tracks, full of notes and goals for the day. Miss one of these early bird sessions, and you might find yourself kicked out faster than you can say, "Good morning."
We have our 8 a.m. meetings. Ye was like, "Is Nas still on the album?" Because I didn't show up. I walked in 3 minutes later. A lot of people got left off that album just because they couldn't wake up.
These sessions get so intense that people start dropping like flies. Urko, the lead mixer for Donda, was so worn out, he actually passed out right in the middle of a session. Talk about mixing it up.
During those 6 weeks, there was no living second that was dedicated to nothing but that album. There was a screenshot of one of my text messages talking about I almost died because I've been working 40 hours straight kind of shit.
I'm back, guys. Yesterday, after 33 hours of Pro Tools, I got jittery, lost my sight, and then fainted to the ground.
Kanye expects nothing but perfection.
And he's a perfectionist. He wants to do it 100 times. He wants to see 100 colorways, 100 variations.
I have you redo a verse 10 times, redo a verse 10 times, redo some drums 10 times.
Ask anyone about the Yeezy work culture, and they'll tell you they're all in, no complaints. It's not just the music either. Kanye holds his designers at Yeezy to the same high standards. Love it or hate it, Kanye's unconventional methods seem to work. He has this knack for pushing his team beyond their comfort zones, getting them to create stuff they never thought possible.
He'll go off on somebody, and I'm thinking, okay, they're about to cry, and they're just motivated. They're like, yo, okay, cool. Yeah, believe in me. Okay, he's giving me a chance.
Sure, working with Kanye can be frustrating, but there's no denying that artists bring their A game on his albums, often outshining their own work. And it's all because Kanye doesn't settle for anything less than perfection, a strict philosophy he picked up from his late friend, Louise Wilson.
Okay, so Louise Wilson was the baddest professor of all time of any fashion school ever. Notorious for not letting people stop at a 7 or 8, pushing people to a 12. She said, so many students, they don't give it their all. And the problem is, soon as they do anything halfway good, when they're 2 years old, 3 years old, their parents clap. Exactly. That's what she said, they clap. And she just looked at me and she said, Kanye, don't clap.
Oh. Demand and display excellence in yourself and those around you. Kanye excels at driving his team to refine ideas repeatedly until they meet his expectations.
I was like, this is my verse right here. This is the verse I want. He listened to it, walked off, came back an hour later. Rose, I know you. This is like the first time somebody ever told Rose, right? I know you, you could go harder. He closed the room. I said, this nigga crazy. And I went back in immediately, right then.
Rick Ross ended up writing one of the best verses of his career. The same can be said about Nicki Minaj's verse on Monster, which is still iconic to date.
What I remember most about Monster is that Kanye really pushed me to be better. I wrote a verse to it, and he was like, I think you could do better. And I said, wow, I never thought about it like that. And I just wrote down, and I said a whole bunch of stuff, and then I created the rap from there. So that's what made me fall in love with Kanye, because he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to push me to be my best, but he did.
Yeah. However, the pursuit of perfection comes with a major drawback. Kanye often has artists and producers invest months or even years into a project, only for many of these efforts to be discarded in the end. Many artists think their lives will transform when they get the call, only to end up with a bunch of unfinished tracks on a hard drive and no clear plan. They get nothing for all their time and effort, which for many is their sole source of income. Imagine pouring your heart into something only to see it released on a platform that makes it tough to make money in an already tough industry.
Everybody was confused, like, how we get paid.
Were you confused?
Yeah, I'm still confused. Like,
have you gotten paid for those songs?
Kanye became the very same monster he once opposed.
The contracts are made to the artist.
Now go and get y'all f***ing business while we go and get free, because I'm Moses.
He portrays himself as the Moses of the industry, destined to free artists from exploitative deals. But that's clearly not the reality. Kanye is primarily focused on his own issues and correcting his own bad contracts. If he were truly dedicated to liberating artists, he would have ensured fair treatment for everyone around him.
I put at least $30 million in this man's pocket or more.
Right.
And he owes me money, and he's up billions. He said that the masters, he said he was going to give his artists back his masters, and it's just like, that hasn't happened yet, but that would benefit me a lot.
Kanye's disregard extends beyond his artists. In 2021, he held a private listening party for Donda, attended mostly by industry executives. Upon arrival, he instructed them to strip down and put on some black robes he provided. The listening party kicked off with Kanye speaking, but rather than playing the album, he went into a rant about Drake.
Kanye is ranting in a private listening party saying, this nigga Drake really don't know. I will get him killed. Facts.
Not exactly what you'd expect from a born-again Christian. He eventually turned on them, having his security force them out. This wouldn't be the only time he violates industry executives and colleagues. The internet exploded when a video emerged of Kanye showing an adult film to Adidas executives, making them visibly uncomfortable.
Oh, come on. Yeah, come on.
He has been quite vocal about his corn addiction, and it isn't really a secret.
You know, I found my dad's Playboy when I was 5 years old.
Playboy was my gateway into full-on addiction, and it's affected almost every choice I made for the rest of my life.
While working on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Kanye reportedly had these films playing at the studio. When Nicki Minaj first met him, he was apparently watching something at around 6 a.m. Many other artists have shared similar experiences.
He was watching Star Wars on this big screen, and as I started talking about his song, he switched on anal sex, and I'm about to talk about the music, and he switched on this bum sex video. I'm like, okay. And then he said, sorry, what were you saying?
In 2019, while still married to Kim, Kanye instructed his collaborators to avoid premarital sex during the album's production. This was an unusual request, as he was imposing his born-again Christian beliefs on those who didn't share his views. After his divorce, he relapsed into his addictions.
You know what took my wife from me? The fact that I was married to this beautiful person, but I felt like it wasn't enough. I felt like I still needed to look at...
Working with Kanye means being prepared to have random naked women twerking while you're trying to make a beat.
He literally just has me come in the studio and get butt-ass naked and just like twerk in front of him and all his friends. He was just like writing raps while I'm twerking naked.
Behind the scenes, Kanye was involved with numerous women. It reached a point where he'd be engaging in threesomes and other activities while his team was attending mandatory Bible studies in another part of the building. Bible studies that he himself had mandated. He would leave the very sessions he was enforcing to sleep with various women.
I know some women who are Instagram models, they said, Kanye doing these bitches like they in Dubai. Like, yo, I don't even want to, you just suck my left nut. Facts!
In Kanye's world, his word is law. If you don't agree, you can leave. He's focused only on what impacts him and disregards others. A full-blown narcissist, but that's part of what makes him so captivating, isn't it?
Just like that, when someone comes up and says something like, I am a god, everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was, a god. I just told you, that's who I think I am.